What can I say? It's what I do. It's how I handle balance. The good GM giveth, and the good GM taketh away.
How do I?
But yes, last I checked, those of you who are not Rivo had business to attend to in District 4 before they departed.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, Holt and Clementine were gonna go on a drug run.
We just want to replenish our stock.
Woo! Let's party hard.
Cap, are you lighting incense right now?
Yes.
And I was
Okay.
planning on doing something very, very foolish.
Yes. By the way, so like Grub brings you that thing. It. So okay, so here's what happens. A little spider robot creature like comes into Ninth and Hennepin and like opens the door and crawls in, and you can see that within it it's got like a little sort of like tank, and inside of it like a little holding bay, and inside of it is a headband of intellect
Oh, cool.
and a note. And the note reads something along the lines of, I think this will be a perfect a perfect containment device. Also, messenger bot.
All right. I will place the headband on. Ooh. I suddenly understand people's motives so much better.
No, that's gonna take another 24 hours. But that being said, like you are suddenly just like gaining little bursts of insight all over the place.
I pick up the spider and I go visit that shop again.
Get it at Theral's. If you can't get it, you can get it at Theral's. Oh god, I remember the first time I played Theral. Spoilers, Theral is an old wizard that I used to play.
Oh, really?
Yes, all old characters that I play eventually end up being NPCs, mercenaries, or shopkeepers in later games. Usually
I love
shopkeepers.
Theral.
So like my character's introduction to the party was they walked into my shop, and I quit my job because I was dealing with like a very, very old person who was like, do you have this? And I was like, no, I don't actually have that. And she's like, well, I guess I couldn't get it at Theral's, right? And like she was trying to like perform some sort of bizarre customer service lawsuit on my character because the name of the shop is Get It at Theral's and she couldn't get it here. And I was like, okay, that's it. Shop's closed. I quit. Liquidating inventory. And they were like, well, we could use a wizard. And I was like, cool, sweet. Anyway, so
Ooh, yes.
Nikolai, Clementine, who are you gonna buy some drugs from?
That's what I'm gonna talk to Holt about.
Okay. Holt,
I think I would certainly know a couple of places that might stock whisper.
Holt, how many ranks do you have in Knowledge Local?
In knowledge local, I have 2, so a total of 5.
Woo! Roll that beautiful Knowledge Local footage.
Absolutely. With a 16.
So I couldn't find a random drug dealer name generator, but I did find a random drug name generator. So they got this new shit on the street. It's called Trinity or Myths or Dwarf. Random drug name Dwarf.
Okay.
Just
You know something? I'm closing my
paper.
window too, so people don't think I'm like doing something illicit here.
Although I did find a random drug lord name generator. I need my smack. I can't trust you if your name sucks and is stupid. Oh, never mind. You put in your name and oh, you know what? Let's see what happens. If you put your name in, and the dude, and like in order to enact it, you say, "Hit me up." Okay. The name of the random drug. You got a 16. You know a guy who supplies various substances, both illicit and legal, except it's the World Bazaar, so it's all legal. Unfortunately, his name is Crash Test.
Jesus. Alright, so just Hear me out, Clementine. I know this guy.
All right.
His name is Crash Test, and he sells the good stuff.
Oh boy.
You can trust his stash. I really don't know why he has such a weird name.
Theoretically, Clementine
I
has
can
more
have
common
two.
sense than Holt and Salandra combined, so this will be interesting.
What's common sense?
I should note that he is an elf. He's an elf. Regular elf. Huh, if I had rolled a 31, he would have been a Goliath.
Oh, damn. Roll better.
I know, right? And at 95, he would have been a Minotaur. Yeah, I know a Minotaur. I know a Minotaur drug dealer named Crash Test. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't be a pussy. This guy seems legit.
Frankly, I think mind flayers would make the absolute best drug dealers.
Even not to yes and you, but there's a specific type of mind flayer that is obsessed with improving organic organisms that is made out of a bunch of different disparate organisms. It's like a nanobot cloud.
Jeez.
And that one would be the best drug maker because they can make your drugs on an atomic level.
Oven's peeping. 1 sec.
This shit will get you high as fuck. But anyway, yeah, you know about Crash Test. You know where he lives. And he might not have the Whisper, but he's definitely going to have the Giant's Heart. He's probably going to have the Whisper. Or at the very least, he will have some other sort of hallucinogen. Even if it's not exactly the same shit.
Something new. It'll be fun.
It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Just start taking random hallucinogens. LSD, MDMA, what's the difference? Meanwhile, while Clementine is getting chicken. So, Salandra, you head over to get it at Theral's. And you get his attention. And he's like, oh, it's you from yesterday. Yeah. What are you in the mood for? What strikes your fancy?
Well, actually, I was thinking I might be able to do you a favor.
Oh?
Yeah. I remember from yesterday that you had a bit of a waste disposal problem, and I thought that I might be able to help you with that.
I'm back.
What were you... Oh, never mind. Scarabs of Death cost way less than I thought they did. Never mind. What did you... What did you have in mind?
I brought a little friend of mine, and he can collect it, and we can make sure it gets disposed of safely.
Oh, yeah. Okay, all right. Sure. Okay. You want it? I got it. As much as I would like to give it to you, I am a businessman and I see a business opportunity. 1,000 gold pieces and it's yours.
Oh, come on.
It'll soothe my guilty conscience.
If I don't take it, you're going to probably have to hire someone to get rid of it for you. It's going to cost you money.
I mean, actually, I was just going to hire a guy to smash it with a hammer until it breaks forever. Hard part's finding a guy with a magic hammer, you know what I mean?
They're not that uncommon. But I'll tell you what. I can think of a path where this thing could be useful to me. It's a pretty unusual path, and it's not something I'm likely to... It's not something that's likely to happen, so it's not something I'm willing to invest in heavily. But I'd give you 100 gold pieces for it, and that's around it.
Make a diplomacy check with a +4 bonus.
What was that?
Make a diplomacy check with a +4 bonus.
Do I have any diplomacy to start off with?
That's the question.
Actually, I think I might. Hold on a sec. Oh no, I'm at +0, so +4. 22.
22. All right. I hear what you're saying. I like it. 100 is a little too low for my blood. 300 and it's yours. No questions asked.
All right. Well, that's too bad. Wasted trip, I guess.
I'm sorry we couldn't come to some sort of arrangement. Good luck. Good luck with that.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Groovy.
Does he try to stop me at all?
Nope. He seems perfectly content to let that sail slip through his fingers.
Wrecked. Unfortunate.
As I walk out the door and I'm opening the door, I'll just raise my hand and I'll hold up two fingers, and I'll just hesitate in the door for 1 second.
He tuttles over to you. Was there something that you forgot? One more thing. Or are you simply indicating that you'll pay 200 for it and that's final?
Was that? Yeah.
Nope. Sorry. 300 is as low as I'll go.
All right. That's it then. I go.
He claps a few times as he turns on his heels and heads back into his shop to check some inventory. Well, now you have a sweet robot spider.
Cool.
With a weird glass sort of containment chamber.
There's only so much I'm going to pay for a cursed item that may never be useful.
This is true.
That was slander attempting to buy a scarab of death.
I'm actually kind of glad that you didn't.
Oh, I know. That's the reason why she wouldn't have told you.
Well, yeah,
Like, if the containment spider breaks and this thing falls on someone by accident, like... Okay, so... If you pick it up, you make a DC 25 reflex save. And if you fail that save, you die. And if you succeed, you take 3d6 points of damage as you have to rip the thing out of your body and then throw it away fast enough that it doesn't start going in the other hand that you pick it out with.
with my luck...
Also,
I remember last time, right?
I do remember last session, yeah.
Also, it is utterly impossible to determine that a scarab of death is what it says. It is not a scarab of... It is nearly impossible to determine that a scarab of death is, in fact, a scarab of death.
Like, what, are you gonna just touch it and try and find out? Like, I don't think so.
Like, it generally takes the form of either an amulet of mighty fists, amulet of natural armor, amulet of the plains, amulet of proof against detection and location, a brooch of shielding, a golem bane scarab, or a scarab of protection.
So my thought was that it would make a nice gift to give to any freaking demigod we come across. And or something to throw into the mouth of a purple worm.
Huh.
Not a bad decision. Because the purple worm can't stop that. Doesn't know what it is. I may give it a few more rounds just because it takes longer for the scarab to reach its heart or brain, but yeah, it's gonna just like get ripped to shreds from the inside out. Huh.
Oh, very situational, so I'm not going to bother with it.
Super situational, but reusable, maybe. Anyway. So, meanwhile, Nikolai and Clementine were headed out to see Crash Test.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Where is his abode?
He lives in some sort of nameless slum. Actually, let's see if I can find a random slum name generator. City district name generator. You can find him in the Skrosk Acres.
So Chris,
not
in case you haven't, a running joke is that Ronald is obsessed with random name generators, and seems to be able to find one for just about anything.
Anything.
I've got my sources.
It's wonderful. So we head to the Scrosscakers.
You head to the Scrosscakers, and
There's no actual trees here.
Oh God, no.
Maybe they tried to make this a green space project, but then they realized, let's just build more city.
I mean, there are a lot of weeds. Does that count for anything? There's a lot of
It's
grass.
green.
Some of it's devil grass. Don't eat it. Also, don't let it on fire. Don't look at it. Anyway,
Ignore the devil grass.
pay no attention to the
Even
devil
Clementine
grass.
ignores the devil grass.
That shit's bad for you, kid. Anyway, you find Crash Test's old place, and give the door a swift knock, and thankfully he still lives there.
Oh, nice.
He's got one of those little door slits, and he opens it up, and he's like, "Oh shit, Nikolai, it's been a while."
It has been a while. You still in business, Crash Test?
Yeah. You know, the business never ends. You try getting out, and they just drag you back in. So what's the point in even leaving? Am I right? And he just like never stops talking, and like he just goes back inside, and just starts musing and muttering to himself, just like, "Oh yeah, so you know, I told the Duke the other day. I told him I ain't gonna give your bidding none of her fucking whore's lusts, and he was like, you're gonna cough up the cash, Crash Test." And I was like, "God damn it, my name is fucking Terravor," and he's like, "It's Crash Test now, you stupid bitch." And I was like, yeah, sure, Duke, whatever. And then he comes back to the door and like opens it up and unlocks several locks. Inside there are a few just like sort of innocuous guards. Just like,
Okay.
two of them are obvious guards. They're just, you know, they're not like, they're not really armed or armored. Like they've got some thick clothing, and they have some obvious daggers. And there's another guy who's strung out. His name is Joseph. You know him. He pretends to be strung out all day. He's got a crossbow hidden under the chair where he pretends to be strung out, and like, you know, they know you've done business before, you understand that this is just a formality, it's just a part of the risk of doing business. And Crash just keeps gibbering away as he goes over to a particular potion rack, and he's like, "Oh, how much do you want, man?"
2 flasks.
Ooh, 2. Going cool turkey on me, eh? All right. I see what you're talking about. I know what it's all about. I've seen too many guys with giant hearts fucking have explosive palpitations, you know what I mean? He gives you 2 vials. How much did I charge for it? Was it like 50
You didn't
gold
tell
pieces?
me how much it cost.
Let me look up
You
how
said
much
I had 5.
most of the drugs cost. Pathfinder drugs.
God, you told me last time too. Let me check our correspondence.
Let me check the logs.
Let me check the captain log.
Hmm.
Okay, wait. Let's see. Okay, so for Whisper is 50 gold pieces per dose. I don't know if that's the same as fucking Giant Heart.
I'm gonna try to look up something that seems to have a similar effect to Giant's Heart.
Okay.
Oh, Zerk. There we go. Yep, 50 gold pieces sounds good for a Jesus. 50 gold pieces sounds good for a dose of Giant's Heart. So 100 gold pieces into the man's hand.
Double that if you have it. I have the gold to spare.
He looks over at you and gives you a sly grin, and he's like, "Oh yeah." And he gets two more potion flasks, and he's like, "Get ready to bleed."
Excellent. And
Anything
I'm not sure that
for the
if
little
he's
lady?
noticed the halfling behind me.
Clementine gives a shy wave.
Just tell the man what you want. I'm sure he has it.
Elijah Whisper?
Elijah's Whisper? Well, refresh my memory. What exactly does that do?
It's a mushroom that is hallucinogenic, I suppose, that helps you commune with the earth.
Do you have any?
Yeah. She takes one out of her bag.
Oh, you mean whiz bangs? Oh shit! Yeah. I can hook you up with some whiz bangs. Shit. Give me a second.
Sure thing.
You know, they come on down to me and they're like, man, everybody's always got different names for shit. You know what I mean? He says as he clambers through some drawers. Fucking, someone comes in ordering Giant's Heart and they want Whiskey Beast, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck Whiskey Beast is, bro. And just like, I just wish everyone could just like, I don't know, get on equal terms about what the fuck everything is called, cause like I can't keep this shit straight, guys.
Maybe you
and
should
when
write some kind of drug dictionary.
well, the thing is, like, I'll just get some guy running through from fucking Wind City who wants his Zerk but calls it Burrs or Katana or some shit, and I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like, I could try to compile them all, but I swear to God, every time I hear it, it's got a different fucking name. And they just ask me for something that does, makes me big and strong, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll see what I got. And then I give him some shit, and then he fucking comes back all rip shit and pissed off, because he's like, oh, fuck, I thought I was gonna fucking die, and you gave me that shit. And I'm like, yeah, but it made you swole as fuck, and then you started bashing things. He's like, yeah, I killed my grandma. And I'm like, well, fucking don't take your shit in front of your grandma. And then
We got it, Crash Test.
and then he looks over at you, Clementine, and says, how many whiz bangs you want? How much Elijah's Whisper? Fuck, how much do you want, okay?
Let's see. Hell, hit me with 6.
Oh shit, that's as much as I got. Shit, I'm gonna have to go fucking mushroom picking. Ape Drape, you know where the mushrooms are? And Ape Drape's like, no. And he's like, good, I do. And for 300 gold pieces, he hands you 6 doses of Elijah's Whisper.
Heck yeah. Okay. Now I've got a nice even 10.
All right. You guys know the credo. If you take it and it's bad, someone cut it when you weren't looking, and if anybody asks, you didn't get it from me, unless they intend to buy, in which case I absolutely sold you this shit. Unless, of course, they seem like a cop, in which case I didn't have anything to do with it, right?
Exactly.
You know the shtick.
Hey, you guys have a good day. Good luck with your journeys, no perspiration, all the things, and just like in some sort of bizarre hypnotic state, like the next moment you notice he is like ushered you out of his little hovel and you're just standing outside the door looking at filthy streets and filthier people.
I like him.
Yeah, he's pretty alright as these people go. There's a reason why I keep going back.
I thought it was just the addiction.
Clementine, you don't gotta call me out like this.
Clementine, spitting fire!
You do realize that I can just hold your mushrooms way above your head because I'm taller than you, right?
I can turn into a fucking bird, Holt.
Who's addicted now? Turn into a bird just to get your shrooms.
You do it.
No, I would not turn into a bird. Birds are lame.
Turn into something much more manly like a bison or an ape.
Yeah. Big fucking bison or a bear or something. Like, come on. Have some imagination.
What I mean to say is, thank you for your help, Holt.
You're welcome, Clementine.
Is there anything you two would like to do before heading back to the 9th and Hennepin?
Yes, I would like to make a tour to the Black Hand.
Okay. So Clementine, you come to 2 houses separated by a street, and one of them is emblazoned with a sign of emblazoned with a sign of an ivory foot, and the other one is emblazoned with a sign of a black hand.
Okay, Clementine. So, real talk for a second. I need to go into the Black Hand for a moment to speak to the proprietor. And I'm not trying to keep anything from you, but I don't think it's the type of place you would like to go.
Looks like a...
Holt, roll bluff, Clementine, roll sense motive.
Oh. God fucking shit on my dick. Where is my goddamn character sheet? Every fucking time I close that accidentally.
Just use the PDF. I gave you an interactive PDF.
I forgot to do it. I'm sorry.
Do you want me to do it for you?
No, I'm gonna do it hard copy. I just fucking...
Well, the thing about hard copy is that you can misplace it.
You also
Listen
have to
here,
change it all the
cunt
time.
slut.
Yeah.
Just...
And it does the math for you. Like
Oh,
all the
okay.
saves and shit and all the carry weights.
Oh man, I know
Hey.
a guy.
I got a one!
You've got a 50% chance of beating him anyway. Without any bonus. So
I trust Holt completely.
Okay, sounds good. Holt's like, maybe this isn't a place for you, and you're like, oh shit, they're probably a bunch of tall supremacists. Ah,
Yeah,
Christ.
that sounds about right.
They're gonna pat me
Yeah.
on the head and pick me up when they talk to me, and just like, fuck, I hate that shit. Cause like at that point, the only way you can get out of that is like to transform into a rhino and start wrecking shit, and just like, god damn it, fuck.
And like, do I really have time right now to do that shit? I don't fucking think so. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Holt, you go ahead. I'll wait here.
I'm gonna give Clementine a gold piece and tell her, like, around the next block there's a few vendor stands that aren't terrible. Get some flowers or something. I want to get something nice for Kali before we go.
Oh, that's sweet of you. I will
Hush.
go and get Kali a nice bouquet from Holt.
You do
I enter the
find
Black Hand.
you do find someone selling like wildflowers, and they smell real pretty.
Beautiful. That works. Perfect.
So Nikolai, you go into the Black Hand Arena building up for a bit of blood sport. Actually, right now the place is eerily quiet. Like, so the doorman like just lets you in. Like, he doesn't say a word. He just lets you walk by. And the place is eerily quiet and silent. As you can see down below, weapons are being restocked in the Thunderdome. And, there is a gigantic gory mess that is being cleaned up. Make a perception check.
I can do simple math. A 15.
When you look up at the mural of Gemma, you would swear that he's looking at you.
Swallow kind of nervously, and do I remember the way towards Nia Misa's office?
Yes, you know where to find Niamisa. As you walk in, the various Black Hand operatives and guards just sort of like let you pass, and they seem a little afraid of you, just like, oh geez, it's that guy. And like as you approach the door to Niamisa's office, the door is open, and before you walk anywhere close to it, you can hear a voice from the other side that says, Holt, come in.
Okay, I enter.
What do you require of us, O Anointed One?
I would like to let you know, as a fellow follower of Gemma, that I'm about to take my leave temporarily of the city and seek a blessing before I go into whatever awaits me.
Ah, wise. She takes one of the snakes from her hair and like leans her head down to her desk, opens up a compartment and retrieves a small glass bowl. And she presses on the snake attached to her head in a very particular way, and then the snake's fangs start dripping venom into the glass bowl. I should mention for those uninitiated, Niamisa is a gorgon. She wears a blindfold so that she does not accidentally petrify people. And so she beckons you to follow her, and she slithers out from behind her desk over to a secret compartment. Like she presses on the wall, and secret door style parts of the brick just sort of slide away, revealing a not incredibly large but a rather impressively ordained like altar. The altar is like crusty with dried blood with a layer of wet fresh on top. Please lie down, Halt.
Okay,
And if you would,
I do so.
remove your armor. It is not necessary, but you may.
I'll do that.
And your clothing, it may get in the way.
I do that.
You understand how to surrender. Good. I know that in time you will learn how to fight. She dips her hand into the glass bowl filled with a viscous green fluid and touches it to your forehead and like traces it down your forehead, down your nose, across your lips, down your neck, down your chest, down your stomach, and stopping basically at your genitals. And holy fucking shit, does it burn. But you're used to pain, Halt. You can take it.
I can take it.
You can take it. You have been blessed by Gemma. You get a +1 on all rolls. Basically all rolls. Let me look up bless. +1 morale bonus on attack rolls and saving. It says saving throws against fear, but I'm gonna give it all saving throws, and I'm also gonna give it damage. So you get a +1 on attack rolls, skill rolls, saving throws, and damage for an amount of time.
You're merciful.
And if you are performing the will of Gemma, you can try to expend the blessing for an even greater bonus. But I won't tell you what it is, and I won't tell you if you're performing Gemma's will.
Fair.
Use your best judgment. Or your worst judgment. Whichever you think is best.
My biggest concern is my constitution.
Oh! Well, that doesn't, the blessing does nothing to fix that.
Okay. Alright. That's fine.
Perhaps you should be more direct in asking for what you want.
I should.
There. Feeling better, Halt.
Yeah. When I returned to my my inn after the battle, I was put back together by a very peculiar doctor. Might have mended my bones, but I fear that he took something else in return.
Oh? what do you think he took? And she starts like feeling all over your body and like checking like ears, nose, eyes, hair.
Would I still have the bite mark on my leg?
Yes, you would. And as she touches the bite mark, she's like, oh my goodness gracious. Literally paid in blood. Funny.
I couldn't say anything directly.
Sworn to
Bound me
secrecy.
to a kind. Mm-hmm.
Ah, I understand. She looks around her and like opens up a cabinet. It is filled with like phylacteries of blood. And she pulls one out and says, I don't think we'll need this one anymore. No, dear Franklin has passed. Alas, alas. And using rudimentary medical knowledge, she's able to create a sort of blood siphon out of the bottle and into you. You regain 2 points of constitution. Just try not to think of where it came from.
Don't think about it. It's fine.
It's fine, don't worry about it.
As the blood goes into your body, it feels, I don't know, dry, spent, lacking in youthful vitality. But blood is blood, and you need some.
Blood for the blood gods.
Skulls for the skull throne.
My thanks.
That'll be enough of that.
Sorry. Trying to find a kick-ass skull throne with a demon on it. You'd be surprised. It's harder to find than you think.
Clearly you're not looking hard enough.
I imagine those are your exact search terms. Kick-ass skull throne with a demon on it.
No, but you know what? Let me put in kick-ass skull throne with a demon on it. Man, all I'm finding is a fucking weak-ass book series called The Skull Throne. Lame.
Lame.
Also, most of these thrones are made out of bones. No, I don't want a throne made out of bones. I want a throne made out of skulls. Like, it's not the same.
That's the most important part of the bones.
It's the most important
There you
part
go.
of the bones. This is the best one that I got. Oh no, yours is way better. Way better. Your skull throne
Nice.
is superior. That being said,
Superior skull?
we done found some good skull thrones.
We did, yes.
Anyway,
Anyway.
it's no
Cap.
problem.
Yes'm.
When you hunger, there is chicken and fries ready to be consumed.
When you thirst, there's most of a bottle of mead. It shan't remain so for long.
That's fair.
I'm not sure if you'd like it. It's actually almost too sweet.
Mm.
I don't
But it's
believe
not
in
thirst at
such a
all.
thing. Send this mead to me and I will consume it.
Hold that down, I...
In any event, Niamisa says, it is rare to find one so chosen by Gemma. Do not worry. It is of no cost to us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll do my best to please our Lord. Solandra, shut up.
As you put your clothes on and you put
Roger
your
doesn't know.
she doesn't know yet, and you put your armor
Yes, she
on. Harvest have 10 out of 10. She oh, got it. She takes you out of the secret altar, and the door closes behind you. And she takes you to the front of her office, and then she does the olden timey peck on one cheek and then peck on the other cheek. The kisses burn.
Of course.
Ouch.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Do any little snakes bite him?
No, but you do see wisps of smoke coming off of your cheeks.
I will give her a deep bow and take my leave.
Sounds good. When you get outside the Black Hand, Clementine is there waiting with a peculiar bouquet of flowers.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, smell them.
Holt, make a will save.
A 2.
A 2?
Yes.
You have half a mind to go back into Neomisa's office and show her a good time. You're not sure how fucking a Gorgon works, but... what? No, get that out of my head. What? No. Kisses
No.
from the Gorgon were bad enough. I do not want to have
Or
sexual
do
relations
I?
with the Gorgon. But then again, no.
Imagine the bragging rights.
Imagine just... but that's kissing and telling. Oh, wait, you don't care.
You okay, Holt?
What?
I don't know. You look like you've got a fever or something.
Maybe I'm allergic. Let's swing by Theral's.
His
Okay.
cheeks are flush, Clementine.
Hold on. Bend down for a second.
I do so.
Clementine laps her thumb and, like, tries to mama cat the marks away.
Ow, jeez.
Oh, what? Sorry, I thought it was dirt.
Mm-mm.
You burn yourself?
No. It's fine.
Alright.
Holt, roll bluff. Clementine, roll sense motive.
A 17.
A 10!
You know, okay, so Holt mentioned yesterday that he wanted to get all healed up. This place, whatever, they probably got a healer back there. You know, Holt knows everybody around here. And,
does.
you know, considering the kind of guys that Holt might meet, these are probably just some weird mumbo-jumbo arcane healing markings. Or maybe they're divine healing markings. Or maybe the guy just likes to, you know, anoint people while he heals them. It's psychosomatic. You know what? Maybe you shouldn't bring attention to them. Or you definitely
He
shouldn't...
seems a little embarrassed about it.
You definitely shouldn't say anything about, like, them being, like, fake or anything like that. Because that might harm the healing process. Maybe it's best you don't pay attention to them at all.
That sounds perfect. That's exactly what I'll do.
Okay. So Holt and Clementine head over to Theral's.
After I struck out, I probably went in search of a what would we call a French press?
What do you call a French press when there's no France?
Yes, a Wind City press.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a Wind City press.
I remember seeing them. I'm probably going to try to get a Wind City press, some coffee beans, and a carton of cigarettes.
You find a little place off to the side called the Biz Buzz Joint. Oh no, wait, no, sorry, gotta bring it back. I gotta bring the memes back. You find a little cafe off to the side. It's not a tavern. It's not an inn. It's not a bar. It is marked cafe, and the sign has a bee on it, and the bee has like the biggest, stupidest, happiest smiley face on it, and like it looks like it's quaking on the sign. Like it's so jived up it can't sit still, and the sign reads "Honeybees" with a Z.
Okay, I make my will save and do not destroy it.
That being said, when you go in, there is a barista there who can supply you with all of your caffeine and cigarette needs.
Okay. How much does this all set me back?
3 silver pieces.
Okay.
It's good coffee.
I mean, so essentially, I'm trying to get a decent supply so that while we're on the ship, I can make coffee.
Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. You know what? They probably have prices for coffee.
And then after I think about it, I add probably a couple of extra pieces for other people.
Ooh, jungle coffee. 3 copper pieces. I'm looking for a large amount of coffee. Okay, so apparently brewing your own coffee requires coffee beans, 5 copper pieces for 1 pound of coffee beans, or 8 copper pieces for 1 pound of ground beans.
Okay, I'll probably get a grinder, a Wind City press, and a couple of pounds of coffee beans, some really nice, dark, bitter, intense roast for myself, and maybe some namby-pamby stuff for the rest of them.
Sounds good. You get 10 pounds of coffee for a total of 5 silver pieces, and then it's 10 gold pieces for the press. They don't have one, but they send out a message quickly because they're like, holy shit.
Okay, so how about everything all together sets me back 11 gold?
Yep.
Or is that cigarettes too? So I'm not sure how much that's going to cost.
I'll say the cigarettes are however much it is to get it to 11 gold.
Okay.
It
Awesome.
is a large amount of cigarettes made with fine tobacco. It's not the best cigarette you've ever had, but it's smooth. It's good.
Well, again, I'm looking for a carton. So
Oh yeah, like this is too many cigarettes to like comfortably carry on your person. Like you could probably fit the whole carton in like a backpack or something,
okay.
but you could definitely fill up a
Alrighty,
case
so-
with them for a while.
I'm going to go back to Hennepin and whatever. 12th and Hennepin?
9th and Hennepin.
9th and Hennepin. No, Hennepin was in there.
Just remember, when you sleep, you take on the dreams of those who slept there before you.
I found a better one.
Oh hey, it's the Crimson King from the Dark Tower series.
Yeah.
How's it going, Booby? Also, that is a literal skull throne. That's exactly what I was looking for. Holy shit. Why was it so hard to find a skull throne that good?
It really wasn't. I literally typed in Google image search skull throne made of skulls.
Oh, you definitely... Yeah, that makes sense. You got to put in throne made of skulls because skull throne brings you... Okay, all right, cool. Anyway.
Right, yeah, because otherwise you get the shit book series. Anyway. Perfect.
All right. So...
Therals.
Therals. What do you guys get at Therals?
I'm picking up my sword.
Oh, yeah. He returns to you your blade, and sure than shit, it surges with electricity.
Theral, thank you.
You're welcome.
Colt is so excited.
He's like, what can I say? I love the look on adventurers' faces when they get something more deadly than what they previously possessed. It's unique.
All right, I guess we also head back to 9th and...
So you all arrive at 9th and Hennepin. All is well in the world. Salandra is carrying
You notice
around a very...
Salandra's lugging something heavy. So... Oh, Holt!
Hey,
Awesome. I'm so happy to see you. Here. She gives you her bag.
oh shit, what's in here? Rocks?
Close. Oh, it's so much better. You can have some, so don't complain.
What is it?
Yeah, it's a Wind City press and a fucking shitload of coffee.
How heavy is it?
It is... you don't have to add it to your inventory. Like, it'll definitely fit in the cargo bay of the ship. It's 2 5-pound bags.
Okay.
That being said...
Yeah, it's only heavy if you're like you're an elf.
If you're some twig elf.
Yep.
Jesus. Nope, still in medium load, we're good.
Woo!
Are we going to live off of coffee for the foreseeable future?
Oh, yeah, we probably should get food too. I just assumed Clementine would take care of that.
think she would be the best judge.
And you definitely don't want to take Whisper on an empty stomach.
Oh God, no. You started throwing up, and then the vomit started talking to you, and it was like, "Oh God, I'm half digested. Kill me!" But like, you couldn't kill it because it was vomit, and like, what do you do to that? Like, you spent 2 hours crawling around trying to find a tinder twig or a candle or something.
Well, should we expedite?
Yeah, when are we leaving? How many days has it been?
It's been 2 days, which is enough for Grub to get the necessary paperwork to get through.
Sweet.
Then, yes, give me a few minutes. I need to take care of something.
Can't wait to get out of this fucking place. It's a silly place.
Any other time, Holt probably would have retorted, but he is focused on finding a table and sitting down to write something.
Ooh, right. Is Holt writing a letter?
Maybe.
Okay. So Holt writes a letter. Who's it to? What's it say?
It's to Kali.
About to say, I want private messages. I want all the dirt on this calligraphied letter. Your handwriting is so good.
It is. Do you want me to like actually write it? Because I told.
You can
5
actually
minutes.
write it if you want. That's fine with me.
All right, cool. Because these fucks aren't gonna read it anyway.
Nope.
Right. Cool.
Solandra's feeling a little bit guilty about buying the coffee, so she does distribute an additional gold piece worth of total stuff to street kids.
Sounds good. You distribute bread and simple but tasty foodstuffs to a few urchins nearby. There are always urchins around. That being said, like, when you give one of them the loaf, he looks up at you and says, "What?"
Says what?
He just looks at you and says, "What's your name?"
Salah.
Salandra. Right. Okay, good. I'm just gonna go.
She just said Salah, not Sandra.
Oh, okay, solid.
That's
She's
what she usually goes by with.
It's better. Kids say it easier. Oh,
Okay, so Holt sits down for like 10 minutes or so, takes a piece of paper from his journal, writes a little note, folds it up, and gives it and a small sack of coins to Taga with instructions to pass it along to Kali.
he nods.
Oh, what about her flowers?
Oh, yes, those two. These are for her, not you, even though you're my favorite, Taga.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, sure. Don't worry about it, Holt. I got this all. I got it all taken care of.
Thanks, friend. With any luck, you'll see me in here again.
Hopefully. If you died, I'd be very upset.
Aw. All right, let's go, you two.
Time to pack up and ship off.
Place is gonna fucking bankrupt me. I think. Oh.
So you guys go through the streets. You make it to the the sort of hangar, the port, the skyport. Once again, it is a place of hustle, bustle, trade, thievery, and barely and aggression barely in check. And when you get over to your particular area, the ship is now has a large flag over it. The flag is emblazoned with a symbol that's like a globe, but with 7 different layers. Let me get out paint and just like draw it real quick.
Oh.
Okay, is Grub in sight?
Yes, he pops out of the ship quick as a shot, and he's like, "Oh, thank God you're here. Can we go now? Jeez, this bureaucratic bullshit is making me tear my hair out."
I throw him the spider bot. There you go.
Oh shit, you didn't get the thing?
No, I didn't get the thing.
Oh fuck. Well, now I got a sweet spider at least.
It's a sweet spider.
Oh, also, you guys should come over here. All right. Yeah. So he goes over to the door, and there's a little compartment next to the door. And he's like, "All right. So here's what's up." And he flips open this little compartment, and it's got like a knob, 2 switches, and like a little lever. And he's like, "All right. So I put a security system in the ship. There's a bunch of traps in there now. So if you want to get in, here's what you got to do." And he shows you a complex series. It's like turn the knob quarter to the left, flip switch 1, flip it again, flip switch 2 up, turn it to the right, flip switch 2 down, and like there's a whole short little sequence of things you do with the knobs and the switches. And then like you don't do anything with the lever. And he's like, "That's the trick. Lever doesn't do anything." Actually, he comments, "Actually, lever sets it all back on again." So, you know,
Oh, there's no way this could possibly go wrong. That's a great idea.
I mean, so long as you got with me with you, or you remember the sequence, then everything's great. And then, you know, if you're someone coming in and you don't want them to come in, you do the sequence, and then you pull the lever, and they're like, "Oh, the lever is the end of the sequence," and then you reset the traps, and then you just fucking let them in, and then they get fucking destroyed.
Great.
I also built a self-destruct.
Oh, no way that can go wrong either.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh. At least I can fly.
Anyway.
I look over at Holt, and I look at his ring in particular, and I just give him a quick thumbs up on it.
Yeah, it was definitely the best purchase.
It was a good investment. So, Grub, like, realized that he futzed with the controls and futzed with the lever, and he's like, "Wait, shit, let me just put the thing in again." And he puts in the thing to deactivate all the traps, and then he goes inside, and he's like, "All right, everybody ready to take off? Please take your seats, put your seat trays up, and fasten your seatbelts."
You put in seatbelts?
Oh, yeah! I haven't figured out how to create artificial gravity yet, so I figured seatbelts were the next best thing.
Fucking technology.
I know, right?
There's nothing wrong with the seatbelt, so
No, but there is something wrong with artificial gravity.
Yeah.
Don't think about it too hard.
It's okay. I created an artificial gravity well. We should just spaghettify. So he takes off. And he's like, to the hell jungle. Please open your psalm book to Pyre's Black Wagon if you would like some tunes. I'm doing a
Always.
thing. I call it the psalm book.
If we have a little bit of time in transit, I'm going to be working a couple more spell scars.
Oh yeah. And
I still have a few square inches of skin that hasn't been written on.
And I'm going to chat with Grub about the enchanting my staff.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
anyway.
What is?
Oh wow. How did you find a picture of the cockpit of the ship?
Because I'm good at stuff.
Anyway. So you chat with Grub about enchanting the staff, and he's like, well, what were you looking to get on it? What do you want it to do?
Lightning, if I can.
Yeah. I can make a staff do a lightning thing. And he's like, yeah, I enchanted my own staff. And he holds out his hand, and just boom, his staff is in his hand.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's cool. What a great trick.
I know, it's the best, right? Just like, never be unarmed again. Like,
Brother, calm down. No, I know you're gonna be able to do it. I know. We'll practice. Stop it.
like, Grub looks back at Brother. Grub is simultaneously, like, fascinated by Brother and terrified of it. He once asked to examine Brother, and I'm pretty sure you shot him down, but more so than you shooting him down, like, you're pretty sure Brother shot him down, and you're not sure how.
Yeah, I think brother would not be pleased with that.
No.
But Brother's very jealous about the teleportation trick, and he's working on it.
Good. All these things are good.
It's a power I get at level 9. That's the reason why.
Oh, sweet. That's slick. Yoink, you're back. Frustrating. Anyway, so Holt, what were you doing?
The staff for Clementine. So
Oh, that's what Clementine was doing, but I couldn't remember what Holt said he was doing.
I didn't say anything. I'm trying not to look out the window.
It's for the best. Yeah, Grub says, yeah, I could probably do that, but just, like, I'm going to need some time, and I'm going to need some tools. I got enough to keep this bucket of bolts going, but we definitely have to go back to my workshop if you wanted me to do something like that. The headband was easy, because it's, small, and it's made out of fabric.
Hey, when you get a chance, can you up the enchantment on my armor?
I mean, yeah, geez, I'm not just an enchantment machine, guys. Criminy.
We know, you're so much more than that. You're a pilot and an animal abuser.
And those are just as good traits.
Oh, geez, I'm feeling filled with so much enthusiasm for enchanting your staff with lightning.
Clementine gives him a big smile.
Clementine, if you knew how he tested his magical items, you might have second thought.
Hey, trash crabs aren't like people. And neither
they're
are
not.
dire wolves.
They're- God damn it.
Hey, when I was done with them, they didn't need any pilgrimage guards for like a week.
And that was a really nice coat too.
Wasn't it? Man, I missed that thing.
Yeah. A little
Anyway,
too warm for District 4.
so you guys fly over District 5. There are lots of tents, many yurts. So many goddamn yurts.
How long do we have before we arrive in District 6?
It's gonna take a day to travel over District 5.
Okay.
And then, he'll land and everyone will rest and the Helgak will graze and it will all be good.
So we probably... I had taken some damage last session.
Oh. Clementine, use your magic hands.
What? You're so much better now.
What spells do you cast?
Good old cure moderate wound.
Roll it.
Roll it, roll it, roll it. What the fuck is that roll?
2d8 plus
2d8.
10.
Thank you. So 20 total.
Oh, good. And with a night's sleep, I'll be back up to max.
Sounds good. Yes, a day goes by. All is well. He stops down on a little empty patch of savanna on District 5. But yeah, there are lots of yurts and just like a whole lot of like campfires. There's no trees though, so what are they burning?
Devil grass.
No, they're not burning devil grass. If they were burning devil grass, you could see the devils dancing in the smoke.
That's cool.
Which one is District 5 again? I can't remember its theme.
5 is the clans and camps.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of clans and camps, you can see like you fly over one proving at one point, and like you can see like there are 2 teams of 20, and they are all in little circled off arenas in single combat. And there are a group of other people watching each of them, just sort of patrolling around, and some of them are talking to each other. Obviously, you're too far up and too far away to hear what anyone is saying. But, like, this is clearly some sort of, like, orderly combat. And, like, there are 2 different sets of tents with different flags. So, like, these guys are not part of the same organization. They're testing each other. But yeah, without much ado, the night passes, unless there's something that anyone would like to do in the night.
Nope. Nope.
I'm just working on my spell scars.
Sounds good. The night passes, y'all eat food, y'all drink water, life is good, Toby is happy.
Good.
You get back on your ship, you continue on. And, like, passing over the wall between 5 and 6 is like passing from night into a worse night. Like, District 5 is a little sparse. Like, real sparse, really. But passing over District 6, it's hell. It's like District 2 without the garbage.
Oh.
And with a whole lot more sort of like mountain faces and things like that. There are a few lakes down here, and like you can tell that there's just like a whole bunch of. That's where the towns spring up around oases and other places with fresh water. And then you notice the ship flying up next to yours.
Oh shit!
And just like a voice calls out from it, amplified by some way that you're not quite sure. Ahoy! You appear to be new to Connor's lands. If you would like to fly over them, you must pay tribute to Connor. If you walk across them, you must pay tribute to Connor. Come with us, or I will force you to come with us.
I look over at Grub.
Grub looks back at
Is
you.
this normal?
I don't know. Holt, you've been through District 6 once in your life. Yes, this is normal.
Listen to what they say.
Fuck.
We just got the ship repaired. We don't need them punching more holes in it.
Grub also shrugs and mentions, "Man, I gotta put some weapons on this thing."
Yeah, that's probably a really good fucking idea there, Grub.
I mean, man, I'm probably gonna have to use some of my own gadgets for it. Oh, fuck. So he starts following this ship. The ship is like... His ship is like a flying saucer. Their ship looks like an actual ship. Like with wood and everything. It seems to be held aloft by like some sort of weird translucent golden sail.
Well, I've learned a few new tricks since the last time.
That's good.
So,
Tricks are good. The ship brings you to a plateau that is like taller than any of the others you've seen in the district so far. And there is a ramp like made out of dirt and like earth and stone leading up to it. And you know there are many like wagons being hauled by what appeared to be obvious slaves. Some of them are allowed scarves, others are not. And you know they're coming up, dropping off some goods, and then going back down. And then like you know every once in a while they drop off one set of goods, and someone's like, "Is that all you got?" And they're like, "Yes, this is all we have. This is all we can spare, or else we won't make a profit on the journey." And he's like, "Fuck off, let me in." And then they go in the wagon and make some swift calculations as to whether it's a good idea to extort these people more or not.
Holt, what sort of fucking place is this?
One that we want to cross as quickly as possible.
So like their ship lands in a little area that's off to the side and has lots of space. They actually weigh an anchor for some fucking reason, and then they climb down it. And then Grub lands the ship, and one of the guys calls you all out. And he's like, "All right then, come on out, captain first." And Grub pipes up, "Which one of us is the captain?"
Just let me.
Got it, Captain Holt.
Holt will come out first.
Holt comes out. Right then. You got a flying machine.
Okay.
It's not a question, it's a statement.
That
means Connor's gonna want to see you. So I suggest that y'all come with me, because he's gonna want an audience.
Very kind of you.
Oh, shucks. Don't be telling everyone I gone soft or I'm gonna have to cut your feet off. Got it?
Got it.
Delicious. Before Grub leaves, he pulls the lever and closes the door. You follow this guy, and there are other like where District 4 was filled with sort of like indifference to poverty. District 6 is filled with exploitation towards poverty. A type of indifference that jumps from not my problem to just like depravity. You pass by one area that's just got people in cages. Just, this is property. Pay no attention to their screams. Don't worry about it.
Keep walking, Clementine.
And he takes you into one large structure, which is actually like, it looks like it used to be a temple, and it's been made up to look
myself
much nicer.
District 4 a lot better.
I
suddenly find myself liking your district better.
Yeah.
Holt, you've only come
District
here.
2 seems like paradise.
Holt, you only came here once, right before you left. You never got an audience with the big man himself. And it cost you every coin you had to get out of this place. Every single wasteland asshole you ran into took a little bit more of a cut. And like you eventually learned to just like keep hiding money on your person, and you had the same lie, and it worked every time. You gave them a different bag of coins and said, "This is all I got." And then the next guy you ran into, you fetched another bag of coins out of a different pocket, and the story was the same. "This is the last I've got." And it kept going until you made it to District 5. And you were stuck in District 5 for a month making the money it took to get into District 4. But it took you 2 years to get the money to get out of District 6. That was some hard labor. You almost got sold into slavery once. That sucked. In any event, you enter the room, and it's just like, it is empty and dark and echoing and vacuous.
Vacuous. Good word.
And a voice whirs and clicks and spirals out from someplace deep within. "Why are you bringing 4 pink skins and a goat into my throne room?" And the man calls out, "They've got a ship, sir. And circular ship, sir." "Well then." You hear a clanking of metal on metal, and the world gets flooded with lights.
Oh.
And there he be, a large man made out of metal, is sitting on a throne accompanied by 2 incredibly dangerous-looking creatures that are built into the stone around him. When they look at you, they start growling and hissing, like, I don't know, feral dogs, but Connor puts a hand on each of them. They immediately fall silent and then look to him. "So, you have the circular ship. Good. 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 And where are you headed, may I ask?"
We're heading, what is it, south?
Southwest.
We look only to take passage over your district, my lord.
He gets off his throne and starts walking down the little dais to reach you. God, he's tall. "Really? Headed into the hell jungle. Not too many people
How big
do
is
that.
this thing?
Connor is about like 9 feet tall, and he is a shining silvery golem. But like So like Grub's work bots are generally made out of brass or copper or some sort of like golden metal. If it's not golden, it's painted, painted to be shiny and happy. Like
It is the same sort of height difference that Holt has to Clementine, except this thing has to.
So is Grub drooling?
Grub. We'll get to what happens to Grub. So like this thing has sort of like the stature. It has a greater stature than Grub's work bots, but none of the countenance. Like Grub's work bots generally have a somewhat jolly, happy demeanor, which is like sort of weird coming out of such a roughly built machine. But like Connor exudes this weird air of menace. Like sometimes he stands up straight and sometimes he hunches over, and just like the way he's moving isn't right. There's a weird sort of herky-jerky-ness to it sometimes. Like as he is walking down the steps smoothly, there's a step that he like stops on, and like when a person stops, there's a general momentum in the direction that they were heading, and Connor doesn't have any of that. And then eventually he just keeps walking down, and he's got his hands held behind his back.
Clementine is like pressed like fucking glue to the side of Holt's leg.
So, headed into the Hell Jungle, but not headed out. That's curious, wouldn't you say?
I suppose so.
So, are you...
Of course, we do plan to get out of it.
So you intend on going in and then coming back out again. So you're a traitor trying to undercut the rest?
No, sir, I didn't say that.
Good. Good. You passed the test. There will be more. And he just, keeps walking towards you. His chambers are like exceptionally large. And he keeps walking. He just keeps walking towards you. Click, clack, click, clack. The sounds of heavy metal on stone. So it's more like a clang. Until he doesn't say another word until he's nose to nose with all of you, and then he just starts pacing back and forth amongst you all. But headed
Clementine at this point has completely shut her eyes and is trying to fucking phase this whole thing out.
Salandra has been studying him the whole time, just trying to figure out if he is actually a golem or if he's something else.
Would you like to roll a Knowledge Arcane?
Sure thing. Not a bad skill for me. 27.
27. The jury's still out on that one.
Oh, it's a 26, sorry.
26? Yeah, the jury's still out on that one. Might be Gollum, might be not Gollum. You're definitely leaning towards not Gollum, but if he's not a Gollum, then, like, what is he? Because, like, the big thing about Golems is that they're generally subservient, or they have some sort of elemental core. Connor's spirit is obviously more sophisticated than any sort of Golem spirit you've ever seen. Although how he was constructed, you have no idea. Although now that you take a closer examination of his body, you can see that it is dented dented in a few areas where he has suffered some form of attack, but there is no area that's got lasting damage. There's a lot of parts. There are a shit ton of scuff marks and burn marks, but there are only a few dents on his body. So Clementine, you're acting really scared. So he gets down on one knee and he says, "Oh, who's the little one?"
Clementine's mute at this point.
One of my crew.
Oh, I
She's an
wonder.
excellent cook.
Really? Perhaps we'd like to try her cooking sometime. Haha. And he reaches out his arm to you, Clementine, and he takes you by the chin, and he brings you over to look at him.
Let's see. Let me flip a coin for this one, actually. Let's see.
I'm gonna think, Ed, brother. Do you think we can even hurt this thing?
Brother posits, perhaps.
She'll let her. She is actually trying to jerk her chin away, and is definitely not looking at him.
That's absolutely fantastic. It has like no effect. He is so strong. Like, you have definitely in your time you have definitely pulled away from someone who you didn't want to hold you or touch you, and like you do that, and Connor's grip is icy cold and stronger than hell. And he forces you to face him. Now open your eyes.
Holt lays a hand on Clementine's shoulder. It's okay.
Do you open your eyes, Clementine?
All right. What do you think, Lutess Coin?
It's a coin
Nope.
with two heads!
It's marked on one side, tails and heads, though.
Ah.
She does not.
Oh, come on. And at that point, like, he wraps one hand around your throat and reaches the other one, like, behind your head and, like, pulls your eyelids open.
Ah!
Like, despite the strength, there's a strange gentleness as he pulls your eyelids open.
Yeah, like Clementine's head's the size of a grape in his hands.
Good job, Holt. Good job.
And like as you look upon his metal visage in like absolute horror, because like Connor's not a pretty looking thing.
Fucker.
He's just like, see, I'm not so bad, right? Anyway, where was I? Yes. And like when he lets go of you, he just sort of tosses you aside.
Oh.
Like, oh, this is fun, but I'm done playing with this toy.
Oh.
Anyway, where was I? Right, Hell Jungle. And he starts doing his little patrolling thing again. At which point, as he walks near Grub tries to touch him.
Grub! God damn it.
I have a really high dexterity.
Roll that dexterity check.
I got an 8. If it's a dexterity save, I got an 18.
It is not a dexterity save, it is just a dexterity check.
Okay. So, got a +4 dexterity, and I rolled a 14.
Yep. Sounds good. Like Peter Sellers controlling a wayward hand, you keep Grub's hands to himself. And like when like this does not escape Connor's sight, and like he looks at you, and it's so difficult to sort of read the emotions on his face, but you have a new sense motive headband for all that beautiful sense motive footage.
Where's my... I got a 23.
You got a 23. The look on his face is distorted between, like, distorted and divided between, aw, come on, I wanted to have some fun, and, ooh, smart girl. Right. Going into the Hell Jungle. Good. I can use that. I can make use of you. Do you know how many people I interact with on a daily basis I cannot make use of?
Few.
None, because if I can't make use of them, they die. Close. Close, boy. Close. Closer than most. So, here's what I want from you. I want you to help me. I will give you free reign to go within my district and without. No more check-ins, no more call-ups. But you will join me on a little quest, my favorite quest. You'll help me find the thing that I want most. Because it's meant to happen. Because it's finally time. I can finally stop waiting. I am looking for a certain mirror. You'll know it when you see it.
Oh, fuck.
So please, keep your eyes open. If you see anything that's reflective, go look. It might be what I'm looking for. It might be what I need. And when I get it, I will be very, very happy. And to make sure that you do not forget your quest, I will send you my brightest boy. My greatest fighter. Would that make you happy?
Yes.
Would it? You don't seem very convincing.
You were most generous.
Ooh. I like that. Something about someone acting so sycophantic always makes me feel good. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but I like it. And I like things that I like.
Don't call me out like this.
There is he stomps his foot on the floor and you can feel the halls shake. And someone comes in and he's like, "Lord Connor, what do you wish?" And before he can finish his sentence, Connor screeches, "Fetch Rivo! Do it!" And like his voice takes on a warbling quality that hurts your ears. And then that guy fucking runs off. Actually, no, better. And then he screeches out once again, "Belay that!" And then that guy is like sort of like stuck in some sort of weird existential purgatory because like he's not sure whether he should do what Connor just told him to do or do what Connor just told him to do. Too many servants have been caught in this position and too many of them have died for picking the wrong one. Better idea. I will show you him at work. It's time for a fight. Would you say that there has been enough blood spilled today?
No.
That's what I thought. Come with me. It's time that my box had new guests instead of the old ones over and over again. Yes, come with me. And he just sort of like stomps off.
How close is Connor to us?
Like
Like he's taking the lead, but
I mean,
is he like
when he was speaking to you, if he had been human, you would feel his breath on your face. But now that he is just sort of walking away, you could take whatever distance from him that you wished.
cool? I'm gonna hang back as far as possible, but kind of very quietly say to Holt, "Are you gonna be all right with this?"
I'll be fine. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to secure us passage.
Connor pipes up, whatever it takes? Ooh, I like the way you think, boy. How old are you anyway? I can never tell. Sorry. All you pinkskins look the same to me.
Not even pink.
Your hair's pink.
No. Right.
So he leads you underground through a series of winding passages from an offshoot of one area of his temple. He has to stoop very low in order to fit through all these halls. He's simply too big for them. And then eventually, like, does anyone, right, Nikolai, you're going to have to make use of your ever-burning torch. There is no light down here.
I love that. Like, that's not even a problem. I love that. Take out my ever-burning torch.
Nice work. He takes you down below, and there's just like a room, an enormous chamber filled with torches. It's like you know, the ye old gladiatorial arena. And there are torches all over the wall and all over the ceiling, and you are currently sitting in the Emperor's box.
Oh, fuck.
There are a series of smaller seats arranged around the outside of it. There is no large seat for Connor, which becomes apparent as he steps to the front and does not sit. He just stands perfectly upright, not leaning over, not holding on to the side, just standing straight up and staring.
Trash crabs look better and better every fucking day.
Got that right.
I advise
Oh,
you to be
really?
polite.
What's a trash crab? Tell me.
Maybe a relative?
Oh, your words wound me, little one. Watch your tongue. Or else I will cut it out.
Yep, I figured that was coming too.
You're right. Too obvious. I'll rip it out instead. And like at that phrase, he like touches his finger to his thumb, just like repeatedly tapping again and again and again, indicating obviously it would not take much effort at all.
Clementine actually kind of steps in front of Solandra protectively.
I just put a hand on her shoulder and say,
Aw, the little one will try to save you. Unfortunately, not enough blood in her little body. Perhaps sufficient courage, but not enough blood. In any event.
Everyone just calm down, maybe.
I'm sorry, boy. You're in no position to be making demands, requests, or expressing
No, I'm
desires.
speaking to my crew, not you. Of course.
Oh, pardon me. You silly humans and your silly tempers. You don't know how he makes that noise. Like, why would somebody program a machine to make that noise? Why would they even make that possible?
Give me nightmares for the rest of my unnatural life.
So, Rivo, you are getting ready for a match. Oh, I should mention, like, out
of the dark, your low voice. There's your will, sir.
Rivo. I was going to have today have a little show of strength, but I want to turn this into a massacre.
Oh, sand is always thirsty.
That's why you're my favorite, Rivo. That's why you're my favorite. And like, it would be bad. Like, you could imagine like a madman sitting in a chair like beside himself, but like Connor doesn't move. He just that voice
makes it
just,
so much worse.
That voice just sort of emanates out of his body, and he doesn't like move. He doesn't squirm. He doesn't squeak. He doesn't do anything. Rivo, you are brought out of one of the gates. The crowd roars in approval. Please describe yourself to the onlookers.
Oh. He's wearing a mask, and behind it, you can't see his eyes. He's wearing a mix of on his upper body. On his lower body, he has what looks to be white pantaloons. He's got hobnailed boots. You can see his hands. Just see veins and knobs of deformity. He's dragging a very large sword on the stone behind him. He walks. There's just hair on the back of the neck. Just twitches. He slowly walks into the center of the light. He pulls the sword up in front of him, on top of the pommel. Cracks his neck.
Shh, brother.
We are ready.
Glorious. Like, without much ceremony or circumstance, 3 more fighters come out of different corners of the arena. One of them's got, a trident and a net. Another guy's got some armor and a sword, and one guy has 2 axes. Rivo, roll for initiative.
D20.
Yes.
Okay. Here. $18.
Sounds good. So they sort of move in to surround you, but you're just too fast for them. Who do you go after first?
That.
Good call.
Let's see.
Chris, you're cutting in and out a little bit, by the way.
All right, bloody assault on the guy with the net.
Sounds good.
16. It's goes to a 28.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, you hit him.
The crit is confirmed with a roll of 19.
Oh, you hit him.
Six, 22. 44.
Oh God, this guy is so incredibly dead. How much bleeding damage did you get?
This is not the bloody assault. Hey, watch it, little guy. It's my cat.
I figured as much. Cat wants to say hello.
Hi, cat.
Yeah, no, 44.
So, does he drop to 0 or fewer?
Oh God, he is dropped to way fewer than zeros.
Is there another opponent within my reach?
There is not another opponent within your reach.
Well,
So what do you do to this guy, like, for flavor? I will let you choose the way of your destroyer.
so with an undercut, hit him right in front of his right hip, and diagonally come right up through his whole body. His guts have slidden out onto the ground, and as he slides to his knees, I grab him by the neck. And then you see his just picks him up, so shakes him, and the blood and the guts just totally slide out onto the sand in the ground. There. Thank you. Thank you. Ugh. He throws him down.
There we go. Sounds good.
Let's see here. I am going to intimidating glare the closest guy with a sword.
Sounds good. You intimidating glare the guy with the sword. Roll that beautiful intimidate footage.
Oh, that's not going to be good. 26.
Yeah, no, you look at him and he's just like he shudders a little bit and just like looks up at Connor's booth, and Connor shoots him a death glare. And like you in the box can see this exchange, and it clearly says, "Are you fucking kidding me? You want you want me to fight that?" And Connor's glare immediately bellows and shrieks, "No, I don't want you to fight that. I want that to kill you." That's not how this works.
So he's shaken for how many? How much did I exceed the DC?
It's one more round for every 5 you exceeded, right?
Right.
He is shaken for many rounds. So the guy with the sword walks over to you, and the guy with the axes like tries to get behind you. Rivo, what is your armor class?
That's under my. Is that?
No, I was just asking what your armor class was.
It says 16.
Okay. That being said, they are not getting a flanking bonus. Neither are you caught flat-footed. So the guy with the swords like does not hit you at all, like at all. He's terrified. Like he goes over and like goes to swing his sword, and like you just block it with your armor. Like nothing happens. And then the other guy does manage to score a little hit on you with one of his hatchets for 6 points of damage. Just a little nick on your torso.
Hey. That is. You said 6, right?
Yep.
I take 5.
And then it's back over to Rivo. So I should mention that in Pathfinder, Cleave works differently than it does in 3.5. It doesn't give you extra attacks if you drop someone. It allows you to make 2 attacks at your full attack bonus against 2 different enemies.
I have cleaving finish.
Oh, yep, that one does that. You are correct. That is how that works. You beat me.
So now,
I do.
to me.
I'm going to.
I'll try some.
You hear a whisper in the box. Boys, do you want to meet him? Do you?
Like the guy with the sword won't say anything, but the guy with the axes is like, "What are you talking about?" And Connor pipes up, "No, no, no. No reason for that, Rivo. Show them later. I want it to be a surprise."
As you wish.
I gotta.
I deferentially nod my head and bend my knee. It's a 14 plus 12, so it's a 26 with a backhand swipe right at the neck of the guy with the hatchets behind me.
That is definitely a hit.
Okay. The backhand swipe will be... Oh, that's a natural 20.
Roll to confirm.
It is. I rolled a 14.
Looks a little pink
Oh.
inside, but it was
Well,
cooked
shit.
plenty hot
Yep,
enough, so
that's a critical hit.
3, 4... 20... Oh, wait, no, that's 4. 20, 40 points.
Yeah, no, you similarly, like, just like this guy raises his axes to defend himself, and you just chop through the axes, and then you are also able to chop through his head in the process. It goes whirling away, leaving a small tornado of blood behind.
I look. Brain casing doesn't bleed all that much.
Nope.
Am I able to use my cleaving finish now?
Yes, you are.
13 plus 12, 25.
That is definitely a hit.
Seven, 17.
So you hit the absolutely terrified guy with the sword, and it's not enough to kill him, but you definitely give him a good cut. At which point he just like drops his sword and starts screaming and running away from you. Before you can give chase, Connor cries out, "Rivo, I hate to take your spectacle. I hate to take your limelight, but cowardice must be punished in my arena. Pardon me." And he steps up over his box and starts like walking down the stands, and like people start like as he steps down, people like get out of his way, and just like he keeps walking down until he leaps into the arena. And just
Rivo's seen this before, so he turns. You see him take his mask off, grabs the body with a half-cleaved head, and you see him start to savage the guy's neck.
Oh,
So
Think about it. Then he lifts him up by a leg, and you watch as he shakes the body. Seconds. All the blood out of the body. And he nods, and drops the body.
like Connor looks to you with a look of pure delight on what little emotion he can confer in his face, and walks over to the terrified man, picks him up, and like holds him up using his body as a human, like as a robotic crucifix. Unfortunately, this man does not have the arm's reach that Connor does, and his arms just come off.
Jesus.
Like, there is some small amount of resistance and screams, and then that resistance does nothing, and the screams do even less, as just like blood pours out of a set of bloody stumps.
The creator of yours did a fucking great job.
At which point he looks toward the myriad arena entrances and screeches, "Let that be a lesson to you. You fight, you die, do not run away, do not disappoint me." And then he looks over to you, Rivo, and says, "Would you like to meet your new friends?"
Sure, sir.
Marvelous.
He wipes his sword off, picks up his mask, starts walking towards the box.
Like, in order to get you out of the arena, he just sort of, like, picks you up around the midriff and just, like, plops you up in the stands and then, like, hunkers down and jumps into the stands and then takes you up to the box and once again picks you up and lifts you into the box. And then he sort of, like, gingerly climbs back into the box because it is too delicate for him to jump into. It's actually kind of embarrassing watching this giant robot man gingerly climb as to not break anything. That being said, none of you can bring yourselves to
Did I have any fan experiences with people as I walk through the stands?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like some people like flash you thumbs up, others just like try to touch your shoulder or like your arms or just like parts of your body, just like, oh my god, there goes Rivo. Oh my goodness, it's Rivo.
So when he lands in the box, you see that the white clothing that he has on his legs also is underneath his armor, and you can now see why he was wearing it. Basically, the lower half of his face is covered in blood, and the whole front of him is covered in blood. He was good looking at one point. He's looked like he's been put through a thresher and stitched up, and looked like he's got all his marbles.
Now then, this is Rivo. He will serve you loyally, and he will serve you well. Treat him as a peer. Rivo, you are to see that in their adventures, whatever it is they're doing, I don't really care, they do not lose sight of finding Mikira's mirror. Do you understand?
Is that a religion knowledge, or is that arcana?
That's religion.
That's religion.
That's nice.
Aren't you supposed to be the paladin?
No,
Not in this game.
not anymore.
So with an 18, would I know what Kira's mirror is?
You would absolutely remember Kira's mirror. Like, your mind immediately goes back to Aziz's lessons as he taught you about the founding of Septemport, and you're like, are you fucking kidding me? That thing doesn't exist. It's a story, a fantasy. But the question is whether or not you want to say that out loud.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that out loud to the insane golem.
Good call.
Solandra has a slight amount of self-preservation in her.
That's good. For the benefit of all of us.
And she knows pretty much if she opens her mouth, she's going to say something that's going to get all of you killed. So
I appreciate that, Salandra.
But yeah,
Hey, common sense.
yay, common sense. It's a 4-dot merit for a reason. Rivo, did you respond to Connor when he asked if you understood your mission?
Nodded.
Perfect.
I understand.
He looks at all of you, runs his hands through what's left of Rivo's hair, and says, "Marvelous. Now, if you don't mind, leave me to my entertainment. Go do whatever you want. I'm tired of you."
Holt gives a little bow and turns
Clementine's
to
out so fucking fast.
exit the box.
Grub lingers, perhaps a bit longer than he should, but doesn't do anything untoward as you all start heading up the stairs. You're pretty silent until you get midway, and then Grub pipes up. Well, that was fucked up.
Think? Oh,
Holt won't say anything until we're out of the tunnel.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up, but I think even that would just make it worse.
As I walk out of the box, I have my mask that has the enchantment in it. I'll leave this with you, sir.
Yes, please. Useful as it is to hear your delightful voice, unfortunately I will not be able to hear you as you venture far from here. But thank you. As you guys are on your way out of Connor's temple, there is an impressively grizzled orc waiting there for you. Big beard. Like no hair on the top of his head, balding. And before you all leave, Rivo, you recognize him instantly as Lobo.
Master.
Rivo. I see you're finally getting out of here. There was no more that this place could teach you. He hands you a backpack with whatever equipment you didn't already have.
Yeah, it's of like one of those army duffels.
Yeah.
It would be like basically my civilian clothes when I'm allowed out of the pavilion.
Which you are. They know that you'll come back. Good luck out there. Don't die.
Not likely with him around. Until
Well,
so, does any of you know what this mirror is?
like Lobo doesn't mince too many more words before he gives you a brief hug and sends you on your way.
Mirror of Kira, the angel that Gemma kidnapped, was the mirror that she used to communicate with Mithras.
It's a story.
Yeah, basically. There might be a gem of truth in it. There's a certain amount of evidence that Mithras was based on some historical character.
Do you mean Marduk?
As far as Kira, I don't know. She could be another one of those parasites, but well, still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, Rivo looks at you with just like a stunned look of absolute non-understanding. Like, those were words, but I didn't get any of that. Well, Rivo, it's going to be easy to keep them working on this quest because you have no idea what they're talking about.
So in other words, this your master sent you off to get something that you have no fucking idea what it is.
Don't deserve that.
Oh, fuck. That's awesome.
This is so fucked up.
Listen, we'll keep an eye out for mirrors, but I'm not sure exactly what we're going to be finding anywhere that we go in the jungle, so.
Just the hint of a smile as to look at Salandra for like the first real time. Assesses, takes it. Okay, hold on there.
So Grub goes over to the ship and futzes with the compartment, but as he approaches it, he sees that the door is open. And he's like, shit.
That worked really fucking well.
Well, wait. The traps aren't at the door. They're inside.
Oh.
And, like, he...
Rivo, do you have a in your rucksack?
He looks at you. What?
Yeah, we might need one. Clem,
Yeah.
why don't you... You don't have to look for a sec here. I peek my head in the door.
There is... It's in the shape of a person. You can no longer distinguish any racial or sexual characteristics of the incredibly charred husk before you.
Oh, it's not as bad as I was thinking.
It's still smoking. It smells like burnt everything.
Bacon.
Yeah, burnt bacon, maybe. Don't eat the long pork Salandra. Jesus. Grub says as he
Sounds like it's the
takes...
same fucking species. I don't think.
I'm pretty sure it's still cannibalism. Oh, shit. Yep. Rivo, you are familiar with that.
God damn it.
It definitely smells like orc meat.
Alright, let's get this fucking thing out of here.
Yeah, you and Grub pick it up by the arms and legs.
What are you doing?
I'm getting
Tossing
this stinking corpse off of my ship.
Leave it there. It'll only be a couple of minutes. Show you where to go.
Rivo, do you perform some impromptu butchery on this person?
No, I don't need to.
Oh,
God damn it.
brilliant. Ding, ding, ding.
Fucking shit.
Very well.
So yeah, Rivo, you point them in the direction of Utam.
Land on the
Y-U-T-A-M. And yep, there's a little meat market there. And
What?
the Grub just shakes his head and he's just like, I don't know, man. When I thought I was going on an adventure, I didn't think we'd be selling a corpse.
Why don't we donate it?
It's going to the poor.
All right, cool. Giving a corpse away for the poor. Okay, all right, fine. Oh, Jesus. Grub just like sinks down in his little captain's chair and is just like, oh God, I wanted an adventure, but I didn't want this.
Clementine walks a little ways from the ship and is just like violently sick.
so
Grub, you gotta get the smell out of here.
Yeah. I'll clean it up. It's fine.
If Ravo needs help carrying the body, Holt can help him.
I was about to say, Rivo, you're gonna need some help carrying the body, not because of the size, but just because it's so badly burned, like it might fall apart a little bit. Yeah, exactly. But together, you're able to distribute the weight along it evenly enough to get it into the building through a little hatch in the roof.
Aye, see that it gets in the soup for the kitchen.
I go over to Clementine and just so kneel down by her, put one hand on her back, and just rub her back a little bit.
No, out front. You understand?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked up.
Got it. The cook says.
Oh
Right.
God. Place is fucked up.
I'm kind of covered in dried blood and now all char of.
I've got to say, Clem, outside of the graveyard, your home is looking pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. It is.
You don't live in the city.
Who are you referring to?
Looking at them.
Oh.
No, we're not from this district.
Shakes his head. District meant.
What was that? I didn't quite catch it either. All I heard was district meant.
Yeah, you figured out that he probably didn't understand what district meant, and he
Oh.
shook his head.
Oh. We're not from Connor's city.
Millions go hungry. We don't waste anything.
It's honorable. Take care of your own.
Hey man, protein is protein. Anyway.
Slandra gets up after a moment, walks back into the ship. She unstraps Toby and lets Toby come out to Clementine.
Oh, that's so thoughtful.
Don't tell anybody about it.
Don't tell anybody I did it.
Clementine gives Toby a big hug. Once we get in the ship and in the air, it's definitely whisper time.
Yeah, you guys can all see Clementine preparing a cup of tea and putting some flecks of mushroom in it.
I examine my wound.
It's fine. Nothing a night's rest won't fix.
So it's a bruise. None of the chains were cut.
So the two of them come back.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They come back to the ship. I don't know if they go inside, but Rivo is checking out his wound real quick. And you can clearly see that Clementine is starting to take a little sip of Whisper.
Is there any indication that Rivo's a slave?
Nothing so overt. Like there isn't like a particular like sort of slaves mark or slaves brand. Actually, make a perception roll.
That's probably not. L11.
11. Yeah, no, it's very difficult to see past the modeled scars that dot across his body. If
Yep.
there was any sort of slaver's mark here, it's lost among them. You might be able to look more later, but right now you can't see any.
Why is he looking at the sheet? No.
I think it would be a good idea to get out of here fast as you can.
Grub shouts, "You ain't gotta tell me! Everybody strap in, shut up!"
Hello?
Hello?
Don't worry about it.
Oh. I see. I thought you were...
So that was a 10 out of So Rivo, how long have you worked for that thing?
Or as much as my life that matters. It's me.
Clementine actually gets out of her seat and starts pacing around the ship. Where shh, 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 shh. Yes, where are you? Are you here?
You guys can keep talking. I assure you. Clementine is having a little conversation with the wall.
Brother, did she finally go nuts?
Don't believe so.
Max.
That makes sense. This mirror we're trying to find, will that help you?
I don't think she's gone nuts. Just had some of that, tea.
Oh, fuck, I missed it.
She'll come down. Don't worry.
She seems way less like horribly fearful, vomity, shaken, which is good. But
Yes.
creates a whole bunch of other problems.
Yeah, this is definitely an improvement all around.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Holt, how many fucking times do you say that a day?
Is it Connor?
If you took a shot every time I had to say that to myself, dead. So, this is why we don't play drinking games.
Oh, sweet Elijah. All right. Well, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah. We'll come back. Oh. We'll be back soon. And then Clementine pops back into her seat and just kind of fucking rides the high.
You decide to talk to some birds instead. They don't have much to say, but you
They
know,
have interesting things to say.
whatever you say, Clementine. They're not seagulls, so they're saying more than mine. As you pass over the walls between District 6
Well-
and District 7. Oh, what was that?
If it wasn't the fact that we're going to the Hell Jungle, well, the idea that there's a worse place than the place we just left, it's just fucking awesome.
Yeah, Septemport has its problems.
Like I said, fucked up creator.
So, you guys are flying over the jungle. Oh, right. So, as you pass over the walls from District 5 to District 6 to District 7, like it's like watching a man. It's like on one hand, you're seeing a man who's dying of thirst, and on the other hand, you're seeing a man who's drowning. Like, on the District 6 side of the wall, like, you know, it's all sand and scrubland and savanna, scarcely a tree, maybe a few dotted settlements, and a bunch of predators lying in wait, human or otherwise. And then when you get over to District 7, it's teeming with life. Trees rising up almost higher than the walls themselves. Grub idly remarks, "Shit, where are we gonna land?"
Well, do you have to come with us? If we're going into something, into some serious shit, I mean, if you don't survive, Grub, we're not getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no,
That kind of means that my gut is telling me that you need to stay the fuck on the ship.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree. I'll play support, I guess. But I just, yeah, no, I know Badu's village is around here somewhere. He's the guy who has been keeping an eye on things for me.
Well, let's find him first, then figure out what the fuck it is that you've been tracking.
Yeah, good call. So you fly around for a while. Dusk is falling. And I don't know exactly what you've been doing to occupy yourselves in the ship, but eventually Grub cries out, "Yeah, this is it. This is it." And sure enough, there is a large, sprawling village that has sort of like... It's gotten rid of a lot of the trees around it, but there are still a whole lot of trees there. And Grub finds a little place off to the side where he is able to land. I'm sorry, a little place like right in the center where he's able to land. It's obviously a place that's used sort of like as a market square in the daytime, but now that it's closed, all the stalls have sort of moved somewhere else.
do we need you to make an intro here, or can you tell us how to find this dude?
Yeah, I should probably go talk to him myself.
Fuck, I'm saying dude again.
Hey,
Will you stop using that word? It's
absolutely not. No, I should probably go make the introductions with Badu just to make sure that everything's on the level, and just like some of the people around here are a little fucked up, but don't get suspicious. They're good people, okay?
All right.
Time for me to find my.
Am I still flying?
No. Actually, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, nope.
Yeah? Okay.
Executive decision. Yes. You're gonna come down pretty soon, though.
is Rivo still covered in gore?
Only a little.
It's been a while, so. Lovely.
Oh man, I can't believe I found the old mutant table. I love this thing. So
I just look over at Rival and say, try not to kill anybody unless they're trying to kill us.
oh please, killing civilians, she's got the wrong idea of you. As you step outside, you are immediately greeted with a normal enough looking elf. And like the door opens up and he pipes up in a language. I know, Salandra, you speak gutter speak. Does anyone else speak gutter speak?
Nope.
Well, Salandra, you can understand what he says. It's not difficult to understand, but he's just like, oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Hi.
Hey,
Sorry, we don't get many people from the sky around here.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
Rob, do we need directions?
Yeah, actually, I don't really know where he lives. I know he's in the village somewhere.
What's his name?
Badu.
Anu?
Badu.
Badu. We're here to meet with Badu.
Ah, that makes more sense. A lot of visitors come to talk to him. No problem. I could bring you there if you have a little bit of coin that you can spare.
I toss him a silver piece.
I will take you there as quickly as I can. And as he turns
What the fuck?
Don't worry about it. As he turns his back on
He
you
may
all
have
to
died.
lead you all out, you can see that, like, plunging straight out of his back is a very large flesh-colored tentacle.
Holt looks to Grub.
Like, it's... Grub says, I told you, they're all right. Don't worry about it.
All right.
The people around here are just
He's
a
an
little
elf.
fucked up. It's fine. He's an elf.
With a tentacle growing out of his back.
Yes.
Can Toby look after the ship?
What did you say?
I was looking at Clementine.
Clementine,
yeah.
you could stick around to check out the ship. That being said, you look at the man with the tentacle coming out of his back, and just like, you can't bring yourself to be weirded out by it.
I've seen weirder things in District 2.
This is true. That being
What
said,
type of animal is Toby?
Toby is a goat.
Toby is a goat. Give me just a second and I will post the picture that Cap drew of him.
I don't need a picture of my food. Tasty.
Clementine, like, as you look at this man's tentacle with the whisper coursing through your veins, you come you like your mind is immediately drawn to how did this happen, and like you're trying to draw a connection, and you're sort of like perilously close, but you can't dance around the logic fast enough. That being said, the tentacle is completely opposable. It just sort of moves and whirs or whips around, and every once in a while it swats a fly on him.
Clementine keeps looking at the tentacle, and you can tell she really, really wants to touch it.
Grubb stops you and he's like, "Hey, learn my lesson, kiddo." Christ. If I
right.
had tried to touch Connor, I'm pretty sure he would have ripped my fucking hand off.
Yep.
Ugh.
If you're lucky.
He might have just squished it into pulp.
Solandra, you're doing this on purpose, aren't you?
Probably.
Rivo, do you follow them through the village?
I am keeping a close eye on Rob.
Sounds good. There are a bunch of torches out in the night. Apparently, like the night is not over to these people, and as you walk by, like people in the streets, you see one guy who's just got a bunch of weird sort of flesh hoses attached between like his calves and his hips and his shoulders and his forearms.
Okay. Still not the fucking weirdest thing I've ever seen.
And then you run into one guy who just like looks up at the muty guy. Like his face is just sort of darting around sort of like randomly as he tries to lean in and listen, and then he holds up his hand and he has an eye on the palm of his hand. And he
So a thumbs up and show some hers.
oops. He pipes up, "Sundamar, visitors?" And Sundamar says, "Visitors." And then he looks at your hand and he's like, "Huh, funny. I wonder if ink beats the real thing." And he chuckles to himself.
So I missed a little bit of that. It seemed like my stuff cut out for a sec.
No. He looked at the guy who was guiding you and asked, "Visitors?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, visitors." And then he pointed his eye towards you as you flashed him the eye on your palm, and he's like, "I wonder if ink can match the real thing," and laughed to himself.
Who says it isn't real?
And at that
You make the eye blink.
at that he chuckles even louder, and like he can't clap his hands to applaud. Like he gives a sort of like golf clap on the back of one of his hands with his fingers, so that he doesn't slam his eyes together. And he just like yips and yaws and laughs. But yeah, as you can tell, like all of the people here have weird problems. I'm talking like protruding eyeballs, eyes with no pupils or corneas, hunchbacks, elongated bony torsos, bizarre asymmetrical people, people with like drooping skin or like crocodile skin. You've got furry people with octopus-like suckers on their on parts of their bodies, and then every once in a while you find someone who's like just like really, really screwed up. Like you see one guy as you're walking around, and his spinal column comes out of his back and forms like some sort of whip-like tail. And like you find one guy, and every part of his body that doesn't have bone or some sort of organ in it is just missing. It's like his body is filled with holes, but he walks around and he seems as if like he's no worse for wear.
Wow. I bet I could learn a lot here.
And unfortunately, some people are not so fortunate.
We seen their dwellings.
Most of
Are
the.
they?
What were you going to ask?
What was that, Randall?
Oh, I was just you were going to ask something and I interrupted you. What were you going to ask?
Their dwellings, are they at work harvesting or doing crafts or?
Oh yeah,
It's nighttime, isn't it?
it's nighttime, but like apparently these people don't exactly respect the hours between night and day. Like the place is still a bustle with activity. You can see like hearths inside, well lit. There are definitely people who are just like making little crafts and trinkets. A lot of pottery being made, a lot of food being cooked. It smells delicious. The odor is like overwhelming and good. Spicy.
I don't know about you guys, but this place seems a lot less twisted than District 6.
I like it.
Holt is wary. The mutants with the tentacles coming out of their bodies kind of freaking him out.
Before long, oh fuck, what's this guy's name? Sundamar. Sundamar brings you to a very large building. You know, it's big, made out of wood, thatch roof. And he says, Master Badu's home. Thank you very much for visiting us.
Thanks.
And he just sort of wanders off with his silver piece with a spring in his step. You're not exactly sure what he's going to go buy, but he seems very pleased with himself about it. Grub looks at you all and he's like,
Grub, you should lead the way. You know this guy.
shit. Yeah, I know him kind of. Like, we've exchanged a few letters once or twice. All right, fuck it, fine. And, you know, he gives a knock on the door. And, like, there's a rather perturbed voice from inside that's like, oh, what is it? It's getting late, you know. Some people need their rest. And Grub pipes up, I'm Grub. I'm the guy who sent you the letters. I'm the guy who sent you the stuff. And he's like, Grub, what are you... Give me a minute. And there's some rustling around inside, and the door opens up, and the man that opens it is basically missing his head above the eye line. Like, where his eyebrows are where his skull ends.
Oh.
And he is
Okay.
wearing a sort of armored papoose across his torso.
Interesting.
And he looks at Grub, and he's like, what? Why are you here? And Grub responds, you've got to see what the readings are. And he's like, yes, but I can't read them. Auntie may have sent me the things, but that does not mean I know how to use them.
Oh, you know Auntie?
Yes, I know Auntie. Lots of people do. She does a lot of trading. Had to get a lot of things. Things that only we around here could provide. We're the trader's first contact. We generally get the best deals.
This is where those great coffee beans come from. Awesome.
Would you like a cup, young lady?
You, good sir, know how to make a lady happy.
He smiles. He is a not like anciently old, but like a very old human. And he gestures you all in, and he's like, "Come in, come in, come in. Never mind the mess. Sorry, I don't get a lot of guests this late at night." His home is just like a simple but large room. It's got like a bed, a series of cupboards, and one wall is completely dominated by a bookshelf.
Ooh,
Whoa.
pretty.
There's a hearth at the center, and he pipes up and says, "Why are you all out here? The Hell God is still asleep, I assure you, Grub. Maybe there's something wrong with your equipment." Grub's sort of at a loss for words and isn't paying attention to the conversation as he starts rifling through the books.
Yeah, Solandra's probably doing the same.
Oh no, they got the book lust.
I look over my shoulder and I say, Numbnuts over here thinks something very bad is about to happen here. And he somehow managed to talk all of us into coming to try to do something about it.
And Grub pipes up, "Yeah, the equipment's picking up."
I flick Grub's ear in order to get his attention.
Good call. He's like, "Yeah, there's something out there in the jungle. I don't know exactly where it is out there." And Badu pipes up, "Perhaps I know where I left my sensors, where I left the equipment that you brought. I know where it got left. I didn't go out and get it myself," he says, as he just sort of like begins to rub the strange armored papoose on his torso. "That being said, I could probably draw you a map to get there if you would want to go investigate yourself." And Grub idly responds, "Yeah, it'd be great." Badu sighs and goes over and starts making some coffee. It smells fantastic.
Clementine thinks the same thing, Solandra.
Old man,
Yes?
indeed.
Oh man, it cut off the start of what you were saying.
We need to eat.
Very well then. A meal can be arranged. He goes over to a large pot on the fire and looks at all
I'll
of
go back
you.
to looking through the bookshelves.
And he looks at all of you. Oh, Clementine, like the last piece of insight that you get with your whisper.
Mm. Yes. You just see Clementine's eyes widen a little bit, and then kind of shake her head like, ugh.
Thanks.
Sorry, I'm just saying what we're all thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts,
Yeah, I'm totally at ease with him. I've been around beggars that have been just as effed up as him.
right, generally more corporeally fucked up. Like, there's something distinctly wrong with this guy, but like, you've met guys who are missing hands and legs and got weird
Faces.
growths. Like, whatever. But yeah, you can't stop staring. You're hooked and you can't stop staring.
Great.
Badu sets a pot to boil and he looks at all of you. Do any of you know how to cook?
Clem?
Yeah.
Volunteer.
He looks
Everything
at
you make tastes a lot better than anything Holes made. I don't even want to
Right.
fucking think about what Rival's food would taste like.
He looks at you. He stands up. Flap your mouth to the pilot. You can order people around. You might want to watch your tone with me.
Whatever the fuck you want. Just say.
Besides, I'm a pretty good. He smiles.
I didn't know your face could do that.
So
Right.
Clementine, you go to help him with this stew that he's making. And right, he serves coffee for everyone.
I'd call you a saint, but I'm not fucking believing them.
Maybe you should start, he says.
Let's see.
But then he goes on. Actually, now that you mention it, Grub, we have been experiencing some strange goings on around here. If the rumors are to be believed from the other tribes, hunting parties have begun to gone missing. Nothing... Okay, it's a bit bizarre. I mean, sometimes hunting parties don't come back. Sometimes you get the bear and sometimes the bear gets you. That's just how things work. Sometimes you get the Neopleurodon and sometimes you don't get the Neopleurodon. That's just how things work. Because, I'm sorry, I'm moose earring myself. I totally forgot there are fucking dinosaurs down here.
Great.
Great.
Thanks, I hate it.
I love it.
Dinosaurs!
Yes.
Toby, you're getting replaced. Nah.
No, I would never replace Toby.
Oh.
I dig around in my
He's so
pack
cute.
and give Clem some stuff.
Thank you.
He has some food ingredients. They are stewable.
Does Rivo clean the crusted gore off his hands before doing it?
If he doesn't, Clementine will smack his hands with a spoon. She'll do it. She's a mad woman.
Well, you smack. He disregards it and offers you the basil and the salt again.
Wash your hands!
He hasn't taken them out of the container.
Oh, okay, okay. Then I rescind my spoon smacking.
That being said, the containers are now covered. They're not covered in dried gore, but they touched hands that had dried gore on them.
Clementine carefully cleans off the containers. Wash your hands, please.
There is a pump outside that you could use.
Come on.
I'll be back.
Clementine goes out to also wash her hands.
While you two are out there, you see a young boy also using the pump, and like he feels sort of like scared to have been spotted. It's pretty obvious Badu doesn't care who uses the water. The thing that you notice more so than anything is that he doesn't have any eyes. There's just a bunch of colored glyphs where his eyes should be, and like Like when
Hey.
when he looks at you, like it's weird. Like the symbols on his eyes like change expression, but it's not like random or like it's not seemingly random. It's as if in the same way someone's eye changes based on like depth and other criteria, the symbols where his eyes should be change
Cool.
based on that.
Clementine like smiles and waves, and then realizes he probably can't fucking see that, and just says, "Hello. It's a nice night."
He said something back in gutter speak and runs off. I should mention Badu can like Badu speaks to people in their native tongues generally. He's a bit of a polyglot. But for the most part he speaks common and also knows how to speak common.
Cool.
That being said, Clementine, you see Rivo take off his armor and clean it off and like start cleaning his body, and holy shit. That's a lot of wounds. Just like masses of scar tissue, like raw red skin where it's been flayed away and had to regrow on its own.
Clementine winces, but honestly, like, she thinks that it's a pretty good idea to wash up as well. She has no qualms about nudity being like a tree person.
Dude, man, clothing just gets in your way, man.
It really does.
And you are a halfling, right? Oh, you are probably very surprised that he has no self-conscious whatsoever.
Give me a second. I'll post the pic of Clementine and Holt.
That art is so old. Please throw it into.
Well, you're not getting naked too, are you?
She's gonna. Well, let's see. It's been too long since she's had a bath, so honestly, probably.
Then the artwork is non-applicable. I can imagine.
Oh, I can show you the cool ink she got that Salandra just did.
But yeah, Rivo, like you take your clothes off and you just start lathering down your body a bit, and like Clementine, you look at Rivo and you're like, "Holy shit, genius! It's shower time."
Yeah,
Yes, time to get clean.
you probably wait until all the dried blood rinses off the ground.
Yeah.
That being said,
Bravio has some tattoos as well.
Oh, sweet.
and also one auspicious mark.
What is the shape of the auspicious mark, by the way?
I am gonna look something up.
It'll be in the center of his chest.
Her ink is still pretty red and fresh.
Shakes his head. Chew cot? Did you chew cot?
I what?
Did you chew a drug? They did that to you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's fine, Randall.
Cool. Yeah, he has a symbol on his chest that looks like this.
Cool. Is it like tattoo, scar, brand?
You're not sure.
Birthmark.
Yeah, it's almost like a birthmark.
Some people, when they have the work done, they chew a leaf. So the pain.
Oh, yeah, I know. It was, Salandra did it, actually. She did a really good job. If you ever want something done, let her know.
Interesting.
Do either of you bother to put your clothes back on when you re-enter?
No, my other clothes are in the bag.
Sounds good.
I probably will out of politeness.
What's this? Pokes the turtle.
Oh, that's a. And she kind of like cranes her neck around, trying to remember like what's ordered where. That's a turtle. They so they have like a hard shell, but they have a very soft body inside the shell. They live near lakes, ponds, bogs. But they can take off a finger or toe in one bite.
Big.
Well, they can be big. They're usually about yay big. And she holds out her hands like the size of, a basketball. They also usually only have one head, but I liked the two-head turtle design. I did see a snake with two heads once.
Yeah, that thing's weird.
Chris, I think you might be cutting in and out.
I don't think it's your microphone. I think it might be the noise gate on Discord. If you click the gear and go to voice and video, you can put input sensitivity. Mine's all the way down to the bottom.
To the left or right?
Mine's all the way down to the left.
Is that any better?
Way better.
Sounds it.
That being said, if you belch or hit your microphone too hard, we will hear it. I don't care. Whatever. Just saying.
Internet trolls will.
Internet trolls will go crazy watching this. Oh, you nerds and your microphones. And I'll be like, what?
Well,
Nope.
So you haven't told me that trick yet, so that's good to know.
I'm sorry. You usually come in just fine.
Okay.
oh, you're muted.
There we go.
Ding.
Yeah. Everyone's cutting out, so it's bandwidth. It's not really the...
Well, I think that's only from us to you, because from you to us, now we can totally hear you just fine.
Shit, I want it back.
Still, you and your third world internet. In any event, back inside, Badu is speaking to you all, and he just starts talking about all the hunting parties that have been going missing lately. I thought it was just, maybe an upturn in the local predator population, but maybe it's an upturn of a different sort of predator population.
What do you mean?
If it's registering on the equipment that I have, it has to be big. Extremely big. Dragon or hell god big. And there aren't any more dragons anymore, young man. And there certainly aren't, and the hell god is certainly asleep. We have made sure of that. We no longer have to deal with his outrageous and constant demands.
And the parties have gone completely missing. There weren't any bodies found?
No, now that you mention it. We don't usually send search parties out to go out to look for them.
Gemma?
No.
What was that supposed to
Gemma is not the hell god. The hell god is an enormous beast. It's said to be 50 men tall and 80 men long. With giant claws completely impervious to fire. Although, now that you mention it, there are some rumors that it was Gemma's unholy steed, but no one can say.
Clementine flicks her gaze over to Holt.
Holt doesn't appear. He has no reaction.
But, yes.
Well, we're not. I don't know. Just in general, I don't think we're ready for dragons or hell gods. So, but we can at least figure out what's going on. And then run away really quickly.
That's exactly what I was hoping.
Some of us have short legs, Salandra.
I'll carry you.
As the stew is served to all of you, he goes over to a desk and begins drawing a map. The stew is simple, serviceable, tasty. You know, basil, salt, veggies, meat. Go. Rivo takes a double helping.
I'd look at everybody kind of as we thank you.
Oh, it was nothing. Just hospitality.
Well, I'm talking about the party members as well, because everyone was looking at me as I was.
I was minding my own damn business.
Same.
Yep. I've seen worse.
Right. So Badu draws up a map, and it's like, there's not much description on it. It's basically just sort of like he's got a little sort of like key for how far is how many miles, and he's got like a dotting of major settlements, and he pipes up. There might be more, but sometimes they move around, and sometimes they don't last very long, and sometimes they last forever. No telling where if you're going to run into another settlement out here. Villages dot the area. I put the equipment here, and he points to an area about 40 miles due west. And then Grub pipes up. It was out further west than that, so... But we have been sort of waylaid for a couple of weeks getting here, so it might be closer.
Well, what do you think is a better option? Taking the ship out to where we think this might be and dropping us off, or hiking through the jungle?
Grub is immediately just like incredibly enthused, and he's like, "Oh, brilliant! Eagle's eye view, man!" And Badu like holds up his hand to just like kill Grub's buzz, and he's like, "That won't do you any good. The tree cover is too great. If you really want to get,
So you're saying in order,
if you want to get
So
a
we
really
have to
good
hike.
look of, oh damn it! If you want to get a really good look of what's out there, you're gonna have to see it on your own two legs."
is there any place along the way where where the ship could drop us off? Or
I mean, it could physically drop us too. I could handle that.
yeah, me too.
And
Even Holt can.
I can now.
Bravo can too.
I would say it looks like he's done it a few times.
Those savage hobnailed boots are more useful than they look. In any event,
They're not just for curb stomping.
Badu pipes up. That could probably work. At least get you close enough. And I don't know where you'd be able to land that thing around here. Maybe in one of the settlements. And Grub pipes up. Maybe I could get the courier to get. Maybe I could get the courier to get to you to tell you where I am if I go someplace else.
If worst comes to worst and we don't hear from you, we'll assume you're back here, okay?
Sounds good. And if I'm not here, then I'm someplace else. And if you have to walk back into the city, it sucks and I'm really sorry, but I'll try and find you guys, okay?
Deal.
All right.
Oh, and we'll be in District 6. How fucking lovely.
Well, hey, at least Connor won't frisk you. Holt, you realize, like,
Oh.
Connor doesn't frisk anyone. Other people do that for him.
Yep.
And, like, even though you guys are impressive Bojan badasses, they might try and frisk you anyway. And even though Rivo is among you, they might try and frisk you anyway. Did you know that there's a special gladiator tax? Roll sense motive. Anyway.
So, just been lots of talk. Salandra. Tell me, what does this have to do with the mirror?
Your boss just said that whatever we do, wherever we go, keep an eye open for the mirror. That's all he fucking told us to do. So we're not looking for the mirror ourselves. We're just keeping our eyes open, and if it happens to be something we stumble across, then we bring it back to him. Or you bring it back to him. Aside from that, that's it.
Well, if that's what you heard, I hope that's what he meant.
Those were his words almost exactly. He didn't send us on a mission. He just wanted an extra several pairs of eyes in the area.
You did see what happened in the ring, right?
Yes.
You're the guys who ran away.
What?
Clementine gets very pale, kind of just sets down her spoon.
Not
You
yet,
guys.
we're not.
I'm not here to do anything but to bring it back. If he wants you dead, there's nothing I can do to stop it. I'm not here to threaten you.
What he said specifically is that you're here to just make sure there's an extra set of eyes looking for the mirror.
I know you can hear. Just said that to me twice, but you're not listening. You didn't see.
Sure.
He wasn't stomping into the arena so that the masses could see that. He did it for you.
Oh.
Rivo
Should we
gets
feel
it.
honored that we saw a guy get ripped apart.
He doesn't ask people directly. It's a game.
Then maybe he could stand to lose for once.
He has rung up an impressive winning streak.
Those with power keep it. We who walk around best pray to the gods for all the answer. Well, anyways, I'm not trying to threaten you. I'm just trying to give you some insight into how he operates.
No, we got how he operates.
He's very good to those who do their job and pay attention.
Well, I can see that he would be wonderful.
Well, in the city, you're either or you have something. I have something.
You know, I'm terrible with those little acronyms. What is BRB?
Be right back.
Leave that back.
Perfect. There we go.
I just would like to say as a side note, I fucking love Rivo.
Me too! Yep. This is the rest of the. There we go.
Well, I haven't been wasting the last 3 months. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't need to stop her an empty bottle.
Dave has done everything he can to make sure that he is socially acceptable and not overcreated. He gets as much credit as I do.
Thank you, Chris.
Oh, I can take the second to send my little Picture to Reynolds.
Oh, yeah, do it.
Was that an empty mead bottle I heard?
Yeah. Soon to be an empty Stein glass.
What's the fucking alcohol content on that?
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer
I
to.
was curious because I had some and it
Cap,
was definitely stronger than wine.
Do you make your own? Or do you
No.
take-
Oh god,
yet.
goals. I'm eventually going to become a bee farmer.
I have a friend, an ex-girlfriend actually, who has hives up in New Brunswick of all places.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's awesome.
Small fucking world.
Yeah,
No, that's definitely goals. It's 11.5%.
she's a computer programmer, belongs to the Society for Creative Anachronism, and keeps bees.
Oh my
Excellent.
god. Those are all of my favorite things.
All of your favorite?
Not all of them.
Talking about JJ.
Making me worried.
No.
Ugh.
And you can't pretend that, like, that's not also your thing.
Yeah, no, I was about to ask if she was single.
No, she's married.
Damn.
Fair enough.
Like most women, I find devastatingly intelligent, devastatingly attractive. She's ridiculously smart too.
Yeah.
We met when she creamed me in a debate. In debate,
Nice.
yeah, it was a massacre.
Good.
So, now that you've had your discussion about Connor and such, Badu pipes up and merely comments, "So he's as bad as we hear." That being said,
Worse, probably.
the night is growing late. Would you like to stay here this evening? I have a few bedrolls I can roll out for you all.
We could probably just stay in our ship.
Grub pipes up. I don't know if there's actually enough room for us to all lie down in there. Maybe when it was just the four of us and Toby, but Rivo, you're a big guy. Okay, you're not huge, you're not incredibly tall, but like we're really running out of room unless somebody wants to sleep in the cargo bay.
No, he kind of had another bowl, Clementine's bowl, up to his face. He's like, "What?"
Like you stopped eating, and he was like, "Oh, well, more for me."
No, I wrote that she kind of pushed her bowl over there.
Okay, so that was in response to Grub's comment about Rivo's size. Got it. And
I don't mind sleeping outside the ship. I'd prefer it actually.
Yeah, this is as good a place as any. She as she starts drifting over towards the bookshelves.
Alright, I just didn't want to impose.
Badu pipes up. No, absolutely not.
Thank you for the hospitality.
About the goat.
Toby stays with me.
You're pretty.
Back at the ship.
I'll
Oh.
go get him.
I'll go with you.
We're not that far. All right.
So Badu reaches into a closet and pulls out some bedrolls, and everybody gets nice and cozy on the floor for a hearth-fueled, book-filled sleepover.
I'll sleep outside with a goat.
You're not sleeping with Toby. Toby's my buddy.
Boy, your
He's
boy goat. He's a ram.
yeah.
Then he's safe.
Clementine hauls off and gives you an attempted punch on the arm.
It is definitely a punch in the arm. It's incredibly ineffective.
Well, she might hurt her knuckles.
Cap has muted herself, but she is in fucking hysterics.
So, Clementine, Rivo, as you go out to get the goat, And Badu climbs into bed with a book of his own. He takes off the armored papoose, and you can clearly see that there is a large pulsating brain, like somewhere on the left side of his torso, lower torso. Apparently, some of his ribs have moved around to accommodate it. It's a big brain too, like bigger than would fit in his skull if it was in his head. He makes no comment of this, just like just that it's a normal thing. But like, you can understand that around company, you definitely want to keep your brain covered up if there's no bone to protect it. Like, if someone pokes his brain the wrong way, it could really fuck him up.
That's why brains are usually inside skulls.
Exactly. But not all of the denizens of the Hell Jungle are so fortunate.
Maybe I'll find him a skull.
If you would like the full list of mutations, you can find it here at bogleech.com.
Oh, goodness!
It's got sections for eyes, other eyes, mouths, heads, bodies, skin texture, skin coating, limbs, extremities, oddities, and extreme oddities.
Extreme oddities. Ooh. This is a cool resource. Thank you.
I generally ignore most of the extreme oddities, except for the immobile mummy-like body and fleshy cocoon. There are definitely a few of those.
Neat.
And like every once in a while, you find a floating red pulpy teratoma that is sentient but unable to communicate. What wisdom lies within, no one knows. No one can talk to it. In any event, that'll do for this session.
Okay.
Whew.
Hope y'all had fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all get 2,000
Excellent
experience points for fantastic role-playing and absolutely marvelous interactions and experiences. You're finally primed in position to, like, begin the main quest.
Yes.
Toot toot.
Congratulations, everyone.